Hey, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to dive into the exciting world of end-to-end testing, but with a little bit of twist. So we are going to explore how to supercharge our testing workflow by using Playwright MCP Server along with GitHub Copilot as an AI agent. So this powerful combination basically allows us to create and run tests in a way that's more efficient and intuitive than ever before. So I'll be showing you how to set up the environment, but before that, what are the prerequisites we are going to discuss? Then we are going to set up the environment, and then I'll walk you through a practical example of writing a test with the help of AI, and then how we are going to run that test. So you might be wondering, why should I use Playwright MCP Server and GitHub Copilot, right? Well, the Playwright MCP server is a game changer because it allows multiple clients to connect and control a single browser instance like GitHub Copilot, which is perfect for an AI agent. And GitHub Copilot is not just a code completion tool, but when it used as an agent, it can understand the context of our testing needs and help us generate, debug, and refactor the tests. So I'll just show you one example. Now, this is how it looks like. First is the user prompt. Okay, so user provides a prompt into an LLM, then LLM processes it and it pass it to AI agent. In this case, GitHub Copilot is an AI agent which will be working as an orchestrator, and then we are having the Playwright MCP server. So this Playwright MCP server, it receives the request from the GitHub Copilot, and then it passes it to the browsers where the actual execution happens, and then the browser sends the response back to the agent via the Playwright MCP server, and then again the final response to user is provided. Okay, so if you see user provides a prompt, then we are having LLM, like different models of LLM, whether you can use Claude, we can use ChatGPT, we can use Google Gemini, so whichever LLM we want to use. And using those LLMs, GitHub Copilot will have that capability to generate the code for whatever steps we are asking. Okay, and that will, once the code will get generated, it will get passed to the Playwright MCP server, where it will do the browser task, it will do the browser execution. So basically browser performs the actions and returns whatever response comes. So it will return the response to the GitHub Copilot, and GitHub Copilot again give it back to the user who is providing the prompt. GitHub Copilot here is a client, whereas the MCP is a server. This process continuously happens unless and until the last step gets executed, which has been provided in the user prompt by the user. Okay, so let's discuss what are the different prerequisites, how we are going to set up the environment, and how we are going to create our first and then run our first test in using the Playwright MCP server. So as of now, we have discussed user provides the user prompt to LLMs. These LLMs in return it sends to AI agents, and the AI agents then send it to the Playwright MCP server. Okay, now let's discuss some of the prerequisites. So first is the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Second is the Node.js should be installed. Okay, then we have GitHub Copilot. To access GitHub, we need to have a GitHub account. So just make a note of this. Then fourth is the Playwright installation within the project. So now I'm going to show you one by one the Visual Studio Code. It is present in my computer. The Node.js, it is already installed in my machine. GitHub Copilot, I'll show you how to install, and then we'll see how to install the Playwright within the project. So here I have created a project called Playwright MCP demo. If you see, there is nothing inside this project. Okay, there is no folder, no file as of now. Okay, so what we need to do is so in this case you can see that Visual Studio Code is installed in my machine. Now the next we need to say is Node.js. Node space hyphen hyphen version, press enter. It is showing the version as 22.16.0. So for Node.js, the basic requirement is it should be 18 or greater than 18. The version for Node.js should be 18 or greater than 18. So please make a note of this. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay. So Node.js is also installed in our machine. Now we need to install GitHub Copilot, right? So if you see this second last icon on the left hand side, extensions. Okay, so just click on this extensions and search here GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot. So in this case, this option appears over here. So in my case, this is already installed, and that is the reason you are able to see this uninstall button, and I can uninstall if I click on this button. Okay, but in case in your system, if it is not installed, then it will show install button like this for this one as well as this one, the GitHub Copilot chat. Now, once you install the GitHub Copilot, the GitHub Copilot chat will start automatically getting installed once GitHub Copilot installation gets completed. Okay. So both of these are common. If you install GitHub Copilot chat will automatically get installed along with this. Now, going back to the project folder, now we need to install the Playwright. So if you see the three dots, just click on these three dots, go to terminal, new terminal, and write npm. This is the command to install the Playwright. I feel you guys must have seen my earlier video with for Playwright, how to install and how to create and run first test. So if you have not seen, just go and see that video. Npm init Playwright @latest. Okay, press enter. So it will install the Playwright for this project. Before that, it will ask couple of basic questions. Like first, it is asking, do you want to use TypeScript or JavaScript? Which language you want to prefer for this? I am going to select JavaScript. So I'll select the JavaScript. I'll press enter. It is asking where to put your end-to-end tests. It is going to create a test folder. So if you want to put your test inside this test folder, then it is fine. Otherwise, in case if you want to change or rename the folder, just you can provide the folder in which you want to store your tests. So I'll just keep it as it is for now. Press enter. Now it is asking add a GitHub action workflow. So by default its value is false. I will keep it as false for now because I don't want to integrate it with the GitHub account. And last, it is asking to install Playwright browsers. Okay, all three browsers it will install. By default the value is true, so if you press enter, all three browsers will get installed. So I'm going to press enter. I want to install all the three browsers: WebKit, Chromium and Firefox. Now see, the installation gets completed, and in the left hand side if you see, all the folders, modules, different folders, different JSON files, settings files, config files, all got created for this project inside this project. Okay. Now the next prerequisite is install Playwright MCP Server. Okay. So I'll just go here, and so if you go to this website, I'll just put it here. So if you go to this website, GitHub Playwright MCP, here you can find this install server VS Code, install server VS Code inside us. You just need to click on this button, install server for VS Code. Now if you are using some other client like Cloud or Cloud Desktop or Codex or Cursor or Gemini, then you have to pass this command to install the Playwright MCP server. Okay. So in our case, we just need to click on this button and it will do the magic for us. So in my case, the Playwright MCP server is already installed. So I will now show you in which folder it got installed. Now see this mcp.json file. So if you see, this is the same key value pair which is mentioned. See, this is the same key value pair which is mentioned in our MCP JSON file. Okay. And now this is the path where it got created: C drive, users, my username. Inside that we are having app data, roaming, code, then again user, then we are having mcp.json. See, C users, C users, Asutosh Kumar, app data, roaming, code, user. Inside this user folder, we are having this mcp.json file. Now, the Playwright MCP server installation is completed. Now we want to verify whether it got installed or not. So how we are going to verify that? Okay. So in this is the GitHub Copilot chat. So once you are able to install the GitHub Copilot chat, you will find one toggle button here, toggle chat. Okay. So in this, if this chat window is not coming by default, you can open it from here, open chat, or you can open quick chat. You can manage chat as well. So just click on this open chat and it will open this chat window. Okay. Inside this, if you see, this is a tools, configure tools button. So if you click on this tools button, it will populate like this. So this is the built-in. Okay. This is the built-in for the GitHub Copilot. And this is our MCP server for the Playwright. So if you see, these are the different browser tasks or commands which is already present here. Whichever command you don't want to use, you can check or uncheck here. See. But for now, let's keep all these checked, or better I would say, let's keep all these checked every time. So now we have verified whether our Playwright MCP server is correctly installed or not. Now we are going to create a context folder. So basically what we are going to do here is we are going to pass a context to our LLM. Now how we are going to do that, let's see. So I will just create a folder. test context. Okay, and inside this test context we need to create a file, whether a txt file or prompt file. Okay, so new file, I'll just write web test dot txt. Just remember to put the extension also. So web test dot txt. Inside this web text txt, what we need to do is I will come back to the browser and I will go to Playwright. I will go to playwright.dev/agents. Okay. So basically this is the agents like Playwright. If you remove this agents, playwright.dev, this window will open. Okay. Now if you want to go to agents, you can click on this agents. Okay. And here go to generating tests. So this is the context generate test prompt. Okay. So just copy this and paste it in your webtest.txt file and save it. Control S. Okay. Now this webtest.txt, what it contains, what it is saying, you are a Playwright test generator. You are given a scenario and you need to generate a Playwright test. For now, I'm just closing this chat window. You are given a scenario and you need to generate a Playwright test for it. Do not generate test code based on the scenario alone. Do run steps one by one using the tools provided by the Playwright MCP. Only after all steps are completed, emit a Playwright TypeScript test that uses @playwright/test. Save generated test file in the test directory, execute the test file and iterate until the test passes. And it will start creating the test step by step and it will start documenting in the file, test file as a test function. Okay. And once the complete test gets created, it will execute it. If it is failed, it will fix it and again execute it, and it will do this process until the test passes. Okay. I'm just going to open our chat window. Now what we need to do is we need to add this webtest.txt file in this chat prompt, user prompt. So here it is saying add context. Okay, so either you can just click on add context and from here you can add it, right? I'll just remove it for now. I'll show you how other way. You can just drag and drop also. So this is added. Now we need to provide a actual prompt. So in order to provide the actual prompt, what is that actual prompt? That will be a basic test steps. Okay, so we need to provide the test steps. So I will provide the test steps like this. So what I'm saying, generate a Playwright test for the following scenario. Navigate to this URL, enter username as this, enter password as this, and then click on login button. So this is my test which I'm asking it to create test in Playwright first, and then it will keep running it and fixing it until and unless it gets passed. Okay. Now if you see, there are multiple LLMs which we can use. We can use Claude, we can use GPT 4.1, by default it is selected. We can use 4.0, we can use GPT 5 mini also, and O3 mini as well. So these are the free models which we can use as part of LLMs. If we want to use any other premium models, we need to add it from here, add premium models, and then we need to select it and pay for it, and then we can start using it, that model, within this GitHub Copilot chat. But for now, GitHub Copilot is giving us these many LLMs for free. Okay, so I will keep it GPT 4.1 as a default. Okay, so this prompt we are providing to generate the code, so this is called vibe coding. So I will just click on this send button now. Okay, and we'll see the magic, what it is happening, how it is happening. Now it is asking me to navigate to a URL, this one, allow or not allow. Okay, skip. or you can always allow in this session. So if you select for this session, it will keep it as allow only. Always allow, it will keep allow for all the sessions. Okay. So I have not selected anything. I have just by default, I'm just going with allow. I'll show you step by step. That is why I am just selecting allow only. So it has launched the browser and loaded the URL into in the browser. Okay. Now it will again ask us for the next step. It is reading the user prompt for the next step, and see, this Visual Studio Code is giving a notification also that current chat session requires your confirmation to proceed. So this is giving us a notification to proceed. Okay. So if we will click on this allow button, then it will enter the value in this username text box field. So let's see. So the value is entered. If you see, the value is already entered. Now, if you click on again allow, it will enter the password, and then again it will wait for the next action. It has entered the password here. Okay. Now it is asking us to click on the login button. So allow or not allow. So say allow. It will click on the login button, and it will do some verification also inside it by itself. Okay. So let's see. This is already like user has logged in here. Okay. Now inside this, now what it is saying, npx playwright test login.spec.ts. So just I'll explain you. So this is our test folder. Okay. This is the by default whenever you install the playwright, this example.spec.js, this will by default get created. Now this is another one. As a user, we have given the prompt and it has generated a test file with all this test code. This is the test function. Okay. So it is giving us an option, keep or undo. So if we want to keep this code, then we can press keep button. We can click on this keep button. If we don't want to keep, we can click on this undo button. So for now, I want to keep this code. So let's click on keep button. Now this is saved now, and this is our test function, and it is stored in this orange hrm hyphen login dot spec dot typescript file. Okay. Now see, do you want to run this test file? This is the command to run the test file. So if you allow, it will run this test again. Okay. But in all three browsers, it will run. Now it has ran only in Chrome. Okay. But if you press allow, if we press allow now, it will run in all three browsers, remember. So let's see. See, it has entered the command as npx playwright orange hrm hyphen login dot spec dot ts, and our test is running. Just wait for some time. It is showing running three tests using three workers. So now one test has failed and two test has passed, and it is showing us the report also. So now guys, remember, if any test fails, then only this test report will by default get generated. Otherwise, if all tests pass and we want to see the report, we need to run the command to show the report. To see the report, what is the command? It is npx playwright show hyphen report. So if we run this command npx playwright show hyphen report, then only it will generate the pass report for us. Okay. Now see what has failed here. Test timeout. So timeout has happened. So I will close this window for now, and I will ask I will ask it to run it again. So now it has got passed, but see, it is not showing us any default report for us. So if we want the default report, either we can ask in the chat window, show the pass report. Okay, either you can pass this, or in this here you can write npx playwright space show hyphen report. Both, using both the ways you can just generate the report. Okay, now it is serving the report. See, it has ran for one browser. What it is, see, this before hooks and after hooks are like setup and tear down. We use it in Selenium, setup and tear down. It's like that, before hooks and after hooks. And then it has navigated to this URL. It has filled this text box in the username field. It has filled password. It has filled admin123 in the password field. Okay. And then it has clicked on login button. So see, if you see, it is waiting for these text boxes also, right? Parallelly, it is waiting also. Okay. And then finally expect to be visible. Okay. Now suppose here it has logged into the application and it is showing the dashboard. Now if we want to click on some other element, so I'll just ask click on admin. This is my next step. This is my next step. Once user gets logged in into the application, the user wants to click on the admin sub menu on the left hand side. So I'll just press enter. See, it is asking us to allow or not allow. See, it has added this part of the code. So it is again asking whether we want to keep it or don't want to keep it. So I'm just going to click keep for now. Okay, and I'll ask it to run this. So the whole test is going to run it again. Now it has again completed the test run. Okay, now we want to see the report. In the last iteration, it got failed, so I have just asked to run it again. So it is running one test using one worker. And now it has got passed. So we'll see the report now. I'll just say show the report. It is asking us, let me know if you want to see the report or need further actions. It is giving us the command as well. I'm just sending the prompt, show the report. So now it is asking open trusted web page, open untrusted web page. I'll say allow. And I'll just copy this payment from here. It has opened the report. Now in this report, if you'll see, we will have one extra step. Okay. So user has clicked on the admin menu. Click on admin in the side navigation. Okay. It has clicked. It has verified something over there. Heading name system users to be visible. Okay. And then it has ran the tear down and it has completed the test. So this way, guys, we can run the test using the Playwright MCP server. You have seen how we have used GitHub Copilot, how user has given the user prompt and which has been processed by the GitHub Copilot as a client, and it has sent as a request to the Playwright MCP server, and then Playwright MCP server is responding to GitHub Copilot at after every step, that do you want to perform this action, then user performs an action as a prompt, and then it was proceeding, right? And parallelly it was generating the code also, which we have saved in our test file. I hope you guys have enjoyed this session. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment box and I'll be happy to answer. Till then, bye, take care, happy coding. Thank you.